it. So it's Saturday. Yeah, it took me forever to wake up and just be up. I could see my reflection in my glasses. That's funny. So I have done my miracle morning in a sense. So far, I woke up like at 7 a.m. I walked my dog Zeus and I fed him. And I'm just literally finishing like a really just like slow morning. I was playing some meditation music and I was polishing my nails because I haven't really taken time to go get a pedicure and manicure from an actual salon because I think a lot of them are kind of hiding or being closed or something. But yeah, so I talked to my boyfriend. He's on a detachment right now with the military, so I was talking to him a little bit on the phone. He doesn't really have a lot of service, and I'm just gonna kind of jump into this because I just told myself that I would vlog as much as I can on the spot, like not even prepared, nothing. And I want to just talk because I have things to say. And honestly, like I really shrunk into a shell or like into like a hole or under a rock. Like I kind of used to be very vocal. I used to have like other vlogs and I used to share and talk and everything. And there was a point where I just kind of I became afraid of like, I just became afraid. Like I was afraid of opinions. I was afraid of, just being seen on video, especially. And I used to vlog like at places and whatnot. And I'm a very like, I'm introverted in a lot of ways, but when it comes to the stage or performing or anything like that, I'm a very open person. I love performing. I've been performing since I was little. I used to do hula dancing, and I used to. I'm a singer. I used to sing at a bar, like several bars, and I used to do open mics. Maybe not several bars. I just sang at this one bar in Guam called Old Traditions, and then I used to just do open mics with my friends, and it was amazing. And I'm a performer. Like I'm used to being in front of an audience. When I was actively involved in a network marketing company, I went to conferences, and I actually was even invited to speak on a stage, like in front of like thousands and thousands of people. And I spoke in front of children, I spoke in front of teenagers, I've spoken in front of adults. I'm a speaker, I'm a performer. That's just who I am, and I'm not afraid anymore to say that. I'm kind of skipping from like one subject to the other, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then I used to be actively involved in my church, and now I don't really go to church as much because of Corona especially, and then because now I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to just not be lazy. What else? I've recently been watching Rose Namajunas' live videos on her YouTube channel. So if you don't know who Rose Namajunas is, she's a UFC fighter. She's like one of the best fighters that's alive, I believe. I think she's definitely one of the best martial arts practitioner. She's amazing. What else? Oh yeah. So my point is that when watching her live is amazing because she's just talking and she's sharing like prayers. She's praying for people. She's talking about going to church, and she's just talking about just being a fighter. And then but a lot of her live sessions are for praying for people, actually. at least the recent ones. So I think that's really cool. And I kind of want to do that as well. I want to do live sessions, or at least, do requests, prayer requests. So if you have prayer requests, put them below. I think prayer requests are probably the most needed thing right now, because people are just so involved in social media. Their minds are so distracted day to day. Whether you're a high achiever, or just somebody that's just living day to day trying to get by in life. And there's also the realm of people that are really evil. There's people out there that have just really evil intentions, really impure intentions, and people that had nothing better to do but think about evil things and do evil things to other people just because they don't really have an idea of how to be a good person and to help others. So please put your prayers below, and I will pray for you. And then in the next video, I'll just mention you. I just wanted to kind of say that a lot of like things that we think matter don't really matter, and what really matters is learning how to be a good person and praying for others, and learning how to let go of arguments, and learning how to let go of anger and pride, and getting outside of your own head and thinking how you can impact someone's life today in a small way or a big way. It really doesn't matter. I also think what really matters is how you start your morning and how you end your day. I think it's important to do a routine in the morning for yourself, even if it's just one thing, like praying or writing or reading or meditating, or you can do all of them, which I do in the mornings. I really take an hour to pray, meditate, write, and if I can exercise, I'll exercise, and be grateful. It's important to clear your mind in the morning and to focus on how you can be the best you can be that day. It's important to end your day with what you're grateful for again, to think about the day, think about what you learned, and think about how you can make tomorrow even better, or at least have an intention for tomorrow, have a goal, have a plan, at least, even if it's just one thing. I think it's important to not be hard on yourself, and to also not think about yourself so much, not to be immersed into your own life so much, as far as like being anxious and being depressed or whatever. Like, if you're depressed or anxious, because I know I struggle with that myself, and I know it's really hard to get out of like that hole, that darkness, that abyss of you're not sure how to get out of it. You're not sure what's the next thing to do, and you kind of want to throw yourself out a window. Not to say that I wanted to necessarily do that, but the feeling of just wanting to disappear and go and be gone is something that people feel often. So if you feel that way, try to give yourself to others, as far as like helping. Try to be in silence. If you feel like you're being overworked, express that to somebody. Like, just learn to smile and laugh more. And surrender the things that you can't control. And the only thing you really can control is how you react to things, how your reaction and what you decide to do with what happens to you. As well as, at the same token, creating your own circumstances, be creative, be imaginative, and make the most out of every situation, and love really hard. I think love is such an abused word. It's such no one knows what love is, but I think nowadays it's really hard for people to understand what love is. But you don't have to really try to understand love. You don't have to know what love is. Love is something that just happens, and you can see it day to day. Love is really something that is an action put forth out of the kindness of your heart. It's unselfishness. It's looking at the world and looking at everything around you and appreciating it. Gratitude, that's a part of love. And sharing good things. It's important to also have a set of beliefs. It doesn't have to be a Christian set of beliefs. But it's important that if you do believe in something, that you continue to grow, and you grow that belief, or continue to search for truth and what that means to you and how that belief grows you. It's a set of beliefs, a belief system. I think all of these things are important. It's not to keep you in one state of in one phase of your life. You're supposed to grow and to understand, especially suffering, having a set of beliefs for suffering is an important thing, because people don't understand how suffering takes place in their life, or the place that suffering has in being a human being. Suffering, if you can understand what suffering is to you and how that helps you, and seeing that the advantage that there is or seeing the message in what suffering has, and just also knowing the suffering that happens to you, and the suffering you put on yourself unnecessarily. And this is kind of a mystical, or maybe like a religious understanding of suffering, but the Catholic Christian way of understanding what suffering is by offering up suffering for the betterment of other souls. Believing that your sacrifice and suffering will be a message to other people. That's kind of hard to understand, but I don't know, that's what I grew up on, and what I believe, and what I found myself too. I mean, I kind of grew up on it, but I also discovered it myself, and I understood that there's no gain in no pain. So you don't have to inflict pain on yourself, but knowing that if you're in any state of pain, it's not permanent. And it's also I just actually came across this quote: suffering is a cure to your pain. I think that's what it was. Or suffering is the cure to your pain. Yeah. Or it's like a fire. It's a purging of like your old self, or the parts of yourself that aren't don't serve you anymore. Suffering is also letting go of a lot of things. A lot of suffering nowadays, I feel like, is people having struggles with letting things go. And whether it's pride or whether it's letting go of something materialistic or fasting, I feel like people don't really understand that fasting is very, very important in one's life. Fasting not just from food, but from things that they know have become addictions. I think people allow themselves too often to get addicted to mainly social media, scrolling, getting lost in other people's lives, getting stimulated. What else? And all these things I kind of already have known for a long time, like since I was little. Like I understood what suffering was since I was little because I used to read the lives of the saints, and one of the stories that impacted me when I was reading it when I was little, and I drew this, I think I was probably in middle school at the time, but I read a story about Saint Lawrence, and that was, for me, to understand suffering, the most I guess apparent and physical way of understanding what suffering is burning, is fire. And Saint Lawrence, he is like obviously a martyr. He's a martyr, and basically his story was, I'm pretty sure he was killed in the Roman Empire. I think in the Roman, I don't know. But basically he was burned on an iron, and as he was burning, they put him on a gridiron, and he said, turn me over, I'm done on this side. And it's like he embraced the suffering, obviously, and he embraced that moment. And he was kind of like, he made that physical suffering a part of his soul, where it was like, he was telling them, thank you for purging me of these last bits of like sin, of human imperfection in a sense, and making me clean so that I could enter heaven. That was how I understood that whole scenario as a kid. And it's almost like really weird to think about suffering like that. Like, how could you see the good in being burned alive? And I understand that, but I mean, I think that's the way lazy people look at working out, and that's the way people that don't understand what the pain and suffering that athletes put themselves through, the burning of, their muscles, how it burns in their legs, and how we put time into like burning fat off or whatever, all that kind of stuff is still in a sense like pain. I mean, it's still a lot of pain, but it's just like those are for like earthly goals, and then St. Lawrence, his goal was to just go to heaven. So yeah, I'm rambling, and I'm gonna give myself about 30 more seconds to just wrap this up. But I just wanted to kind of share what's on my mind, and hopefully this will help in understanding life and understanding suffering, understanding how to be a better person and a good person. I just really hope that all of you decide today to be a good person and think about inflicting good on other people and not evil. And that's really all I have to say today. God bless, and I'll see you guys later.